Welcome back to the channel, and in this one we're going to be talking a little bit about max coverage. So this video is going to be about cover 4 quarters. My next video will probably be about cover 4 palms, and then the last video of the series will be about cover 6 and cover 9, because it really just kind of grabs the rules from both quarters and palms, depending on the offensive formation. So when it comes to cover 4 quarters, you just have to pick a play that says cover 4 quarters, of course. So you see that top right, and make sure that your zone drops are off, or else max won't work. And also, I recommend when it comes to quarters, if you're running cover 4, push your safety depth to close. Pat Narduzzi used to do this back in the day with Michigan State, and his safeties would be super far walked up, and they'll basically be able to play in the run game as well as take away those screens. So we're gonna pick cover 4 quarters here, and to start, we're going to talk about a 2x2 formation. So this play here, as you can see, 2x2, if you don't know what that means, you just count from outside in. So B on the right, that's number 1. A on the right, that's number 2. And then our running back on the right, that's number 3, but he's in the backfield, so it's a 2x2. And same type of thing. So X on the left, that is number 1. And then Y on the left, that is number 2. On defense, basically how quarters works is it looks like a deep zone where everybody is just dropping back deep. But ultimately, it all depends on what the offense does. So if everyone on the offense was to run vertical, so if we had something like this, oops, can I not streak him? Streak, and then streak. So if we were to get something like this, the defense will basically play it like this. So we basically would get man all the way across. So I'm going to reset my play on defense, and then I'm going to call 4 verts on offense. I'm going to click off. I'm just let my D-line do what they do. And as you can see, everybody mans up deep. So that east side, they play independent. So if number 2 goes vertical on the left, that has nothing to do with what's happening on this right side here. And then this guy basically relates to number 3. So if we get this guy up the middle, so if we get the running back up the middle, route like this, then our inside linebacker here, he's basically going to be manned up on the running back. So I'm going to snap that play, and you see he eventually matches the running back. So everybody goes vertical. So a vertical route is basically anything that breaks after like 8-ish yards. So if I put the guys on the left, if I put them both on posts, you're going to see that we get match from both our safeties again. And that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to take the route away. Like a common concept to beat match is what you would call mills. So if you had a really fast outside receiver, you would basically do something like this. And if you have a lot of speed, he can break across his face and kind of go like that. But as you can see, Virginia Tech sucks, and I can't accurately throw the ball. But that is the basics of 2x2 max quarters. And then the only other thing that you kind of want to keep in mind when you run this defense is that number 2 and number 3, they can swap post play. So if I were to put my running back on a flat route here, and then I put my tight end here inside, the running back turns to number 2, and then the drag across the middle turns into number 3. So I'm going to click off here, and then watch how our inside linebacker matches that guy. And as you can see, the coverage is not perfect because that dig is supposed to be matched by our outside corner. So we're going to do that one more time. Send these guys vertical, and then watch how they swap responsibilities. He sees him go across. He's like, okay, I'll pick him up. And then that time our corner picks up our guy. So overall, that is how you run max quarters. So just play around with different route combos, common route combos that people will run out of 2x2. But it plays a lot like man coverage in some situations, and then zone coverage in others. So eventually everybody's going to latch on and it's going to be man. But it's just important to know the rules. And then jumping over to 3x1 formations, the main thing that you're going to want to know here is they play it exactly how they play 2x2 formations, essentially, when it comes to this spread out 3x1. So remember we learned in the last one. So you count your receivers from outside in. So B on the right, that's number 1, and then our B is number 2, and then A is number 3. So the defense is going to do what's called a poach check in real football, in quarters terminology. And basically what that means is our safety here on this left side, he's responsible for number 3 vertical. So that's Gosnell in the slot here. So I'm going to show you guys, snap this ball, and then watch our safety haul all the way to the left and be able to be in position to break up that vertical. So everything else is basically exactly the same. So if I were to get this guy, let's say I got Gosnell to the flat, I got this guy inside. What we want to know here is this guy is responsible for anything inside, essentially, or the first in. This guy's responsible for the second in, and then number 3 vertical, and then this guy has number 2 vertical. So a route combo like this, you're gonna see our Mike linebacker in the middle. He's gonna pick up that drag, and then our quarter flat should take that out route. So in, and then they take their responsibilities. So basically, if you want to kill quarters, if your opponent is running quarters against you, since we know that number 3 has to be covered by that safety all the way on the other side, all we have to do is send him vertical and out, and it's a really, really, really tough ask to get your safety out there to cover that corner route. So that's how you beat cover 4 quarters for a big play, basically. And then some other common route combos, like if we were to do something like this, basically like a drive concept. All we want to remember here is this guy's responsible for number 3. This guy's responsible for number 2, in or out. This guy's responsible for number 2 vertical. This guy's responsible for number 1 vertical, and then this guy's responsible for number 3 vertical. So if we know, if I was playing against this type of coverage, I would basically want to look and I would want to user this guy and basically take the first guy in, because more than likely, unless it's some type of flood concept, somebody's coming in. So snap this here, and you would basically want to cover like that. So that's how you would run this. You see it takes a second for RB to get matched, but it's not a perfect defense. Man coverage still matters a lot. And then lastly on this one, on the backside, all you really want to know is these guys are basically manned up. So it's basically our quarter flat on the left is man on number 2, which is our running back, and then this guy is basically manned up on number 1. So that's also another way that you can try to beat it. If you know you have basically that guy over there, is you could kind of try to run a concept like this, or basically anything that breaks inside can kind of be hard to cover from this. So if we know we have inside leverage, sometimes you can like sneak that in. So 2 ways to beat it. And then jumping over to a 3x1 with an attached tight end, the main difference that you're going to want to keep in mind is basically when our attached tight end, so this is attached, so our tight end is a part of the line of scrimmage. This is unattached. Our tight end is not a part of the line of scrimmage. The safety in the corner here will basically swap responsibilities. So if we get an under route by our number 2 or by our number 1 receiver this time, who's our tight end, who's attached to the line of scrimmage, then this guy will be responsible. This is what you would call a cut call. So it'll be cut, cut, cut. That corner on the outside will be yelling under, under, under. And we're basically going to watch them swap responsibilities. And our corner on the outside, instead of robbing or instead of playing the vertical by number 3, he's going to, what am I saying? Our safety is going to take the under by number 1, and then our corner is going to be able to play that vertical by number 3. So he's essentially looking at number 3 and at number 1 on this play. So watch this play here. I'm going to just drag, send our running back to the flat. Our quarter flat will pick that guy up. So quarter flat will pick up the running back, and then the corner on the right will end up picking up the crosser that I'm going to put out here. So I'm going to go like this. Oops. So like this. So watch how our safety and our corner swap responsibilities. So the drag is open, and that's another way you can beat this coverage. But on the left, it's the same thing. Number 2 vertical is going to be owned by that safety, and then number 1 vertical is going to be owned by that outside corner. And then our quarter flat on the left here, he basically has the first thing in. So that's how that plays. But just looking at the replay here, our safety takes that underneath, and then they beautifully exchange that crosser. And then probably the biggest reason to run quarters is because it takes away all of these bunch compression sets really well. So to the bunch side, this is gonna be what you would call the box check. So this is an attached number one receiver that we have on the right. So all those rules still apply. But to the bunch side, this is what you would call box check. So this guy, he has the bottom corner of the box. This guy has the bottom inside corner of the box, and then our quarter flat here has the bottom outside corner of the box, and it kind of looks like this. So it's basically 4/3, and whichever way they break, we theoretically will have leverage. So the oldest play in football, you would have something like this: a flood concept, sail concept. Oops, I forgot you don't have flat routes this year, but something like this. So watch how the safety will take the first vertical, and then the corner will take the corner that comes to him, and then we'll get our quarter flat in the flat. So boom, beautiful coverage. So that's the box check. And then the box check also applies to 2x2 compressed formation. So that last play, that was an example of a 3x1 compressed formation. So if I were to streak this guy here, oops, and then send our running back to the flats, we still have that exact same box check. So remember, I'm going to snap it. Our corner should take that deep outside. Our safety will take that first vertical, and then boom, and then you have that other guy. I really like using either this guy here, and you have to basically take anything inside, or if you're really about it, you can use this guy on the back side of the box check, and only time you're really responsible for anything is if the tight end runs vertical. So any other situation, you can basically roam free and be kind of that rover type of guy in the middle of the field. So let's throw a couple of other combos that are not like flood type concepts. So watch on a route like this here, our safety will take that guy vertical, and then we're gonna get our our 3 receiver hook taking that drag route underneath. So boom, take that drag underneath. We have a QB spy, and then our corner finally matches that running back wheel. And then the last type of formation, oops, let me move this guy. The last type of formation we're gonna talk about here is going to be a 4-strong formation. So this is the first year in both Madden or college football. So Madden, they actually put in the blog. It wasn't included in any college football blogs, but it still applies here to college football 26. And that's going to be what you call a 4-strong formation. So 1 receiver, 2 receiver, 3 receiver, 4 receivers, all to one side of the field. In previous years, if you had a 4-strong formation, cover 4 quarters and cover 4 palms, they would just basically just default to drop quarters. So it would just be spot drop cover 4. And that is not what you want, because I guess with the switch stick is a pretty good defense, but if you come out and run max, you should be wanting to run max, especially when you know the rules here. So how the push call works is it's basically exactly like our other 2 calls, where this guy here is playing Poach, but the only difference here is he's now responsible for anything that's like coming across to him. So anything that becomes the new number 2. So anything that's now moved from the right side to the left side, he has the first thing. So what we're going to watch here, we're going to send our tight end under and watch how that quarter flat on the left ends up manning up. So previously years, that just would never happen. And then again, this time we're gonna streak our tight end, and he's going to be responsible, or our safety on the backside is going to be responsible for our tight end vertical. So watch this, snap this here, and we see we get that. And then our corner got absolutely fried on a dig. But it doesn't matter which guy it is coming over, and basically you stop from becoming number 4, and then you basically become number 2 on the left side. So if I were to basically send a corner out like this, and then a drag underneath, watch how that plays out. We're going to get a very similar logic, where our quarter flat on the left ends up taking them. And as you can see, that's just a completely busted coverage, because our corner doesn't block, or our safety, excuse me, isn't able to get out there. So that's another way to beat quarters kind of just like the two by, or excuse me, the other 3-by-1 formations. Uh, Basically sending our number 3 receiver on a corner, it creates a lot of problems for quarters. But ultimately, that's going to be all the rules when it comes to quarters, or I guess the bulk of the rules for most formations that you'll see. Make sure you get in the lab a little bit before you go out and try to run this online. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.